Let's go! Okay?
All right. Yeah, Peaches got it.
Yippee!
Here we go.
What's going on? We're back for another edition of the Funtendo Market Report on this Thursday, March 14th, 2024. Let's jump right into it. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 137 points and 0.66.
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
The Nasdaq down 49.24 points for
Mamma
today.
mia.
The S&P 500 down 14.83 points for today. The Nikkei exchange up 111.41 points for today. The London FTSE, all indexes are down for today. Let's get into live gold spot prices where the spot market is closed right now. Gold actually down $11.90, while silver is down. Checking in with the exchange rates, the dollar is up against almost all major currencies except for the Canadian dollar, the Hong Kong dollar, and down 0.01% against the Japanese yen. Moving into crude oil futures. Crude oil is up $1.19 today. What a nice move by crude oil. The crude oil bulls are having a nice run this week. Let's check in on cryptocurrency prices. Bitcoin at 71,271.48 cents, while Ethereum's at 38.70 and 61 cents. Other minor coins, Doge at 0.1767%, up 14.60% within the last 7 days, while Shiba is at 0.00003215, up 3.39% within the last 7 days. Let's jump into the next segment, Mario's Madness, where we cover the top stock gainers and the top stock losers of the day. Leading the pack, Ewan Industrial Holdings Limited up 24.27% today, followed by Dick's Sporting Goods Inc. up 15.47% today. Impinj Inc. up 9.79% for today. Embraer SA up 9.51% for today. Rounding out the top five, Palomar Holdings Inc. up 8.91% for the day. Moving into the top losers. Sentinel One Inc. down 16.64%.
Mamma mia.
Affirm Holdings Inc. down 13.84%. Futu Holdings Limited down 13.76%. Madrigal Pharmaceuticals down 10.77%. And Under Armour Inc. down 10.74%. Let's get into Peach's Paycheck, where we cover the top consumer news.
All right. Here we go.
Small businesses are cutting jobs. It's a warning sign for the U.S. economy. Economic pressures are trapping small businesses in a cycle that makes it even more difficult to compete with larger, more established businesses. I mean, this is no surprise. This has been happening since the pandemic started. All of the smaller companies are getting wiped out. The mom and pop shops, smaller businesses have not, never will, and have not had a competitive advantage. They have some advantages in business in general. They may be smaller. They may be more nimble. They may be able to more quickly adjust to consumers' wants and needs, but
Here we go.
I don't know, just more of what we already know. Let's check in on the breaking news, which underlies the U.S. inflation tops the forecast for the second month. I believe they're going to talk about the Consumer Price Index report that was recently released.
Let's play hot or not, and it does look like we are hot because CPI comes in on a month-over-month basis up 0.4. Core comes in up 0.4.
Wow.
Forecast was for a 0.3 rise, pushes up the year-over-year CPI to 3.2%. Now that is probably energy-related, gasoline price-related, but we will check the numbers as they come in. But the core rises, or actually comes down to 3.8 from 3.9, but that's above the 3.7 consensus. So at this point, it looks like we have a little bit stronger core numbers than anticipated. And we'll just have to look and see where that inflation came from. Well, the headline number is probably energy driven. We saw gasoline prices for the month up 3.8%. They
Wow,
fell
wow, 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 wow,
3.3% in the month of January.
Mamma
So a
mia.
big difference there. Food, everybody keeps an eye on food prices because we all got to pay that. And for the month, we saw food prices flat, which is a bit of a surprise. There was an expectation they might rise some. But I think in the core, the two biggest things that affected the core were used cars. They were up for the month by 0.5%.
What?
Which is in contrast to the 3.4% they declined in January.
Oh,
so
right.
a big change
Yeah,
there.
Peaches got
And
it.
then what we're seeing for owner's equivalent rent is that we have seen that come down a little bit. It's up 0.4 compared to 0.4 for rent. So the divergence that we saw in January has gone away. I'll look for some other big movers, but it looks like used cars played a big role, energy played a big role, and food did not, which is a bit of a surprise.
In other Peaches paycheck related consumer news, McDonald's prices are up, so lower income consumers are eating at home. Some lower income Americans are rejecting McDonald's and opting to cook at home instead. The fast food chain's chief financial officer said at an investor conference on Wednesday, "It's a challenging consumer environment. Many customers are trying to manage inflation, higher interest rates, and dwindling savings. Inflation's sting has pushed Americans to cut back on small luxuries. That includes their spending on food at restaurants such as McDonald's, fast food restaurants that historically prize value and affordability as core business values. Dining out has become more of a luxury. According to February inflation data in the Consumer Price Index, food at home prices grew 1% year over year, while restaurant prices rose 4.5% over the last year." Let's jump into the next segment, Bowser's Blunders. Is homeowners insurance required? Why more than 6 million Americans don't have it. More than 6 million homeowners nationwide, including a large number of Native American, Hispanic, and Black homeowners, do not carry homeowners insurance, putting them at extreme risk in the event of natural disasters or other significant damage to their homes. The study by the Consumer Federation of America found that uninsured property accounts for 7.4% of all properties in the country and leaves 1.6 trillion in property value unprotected. Being uninsured poses a potential threat not only to individual homeowners, but also to communities and our national housing stock. 1 in 13 American homeowners are uninsured. Approximately 7.4% living in about 6.1 million homes. Homeowners earning under $50,000 per year are twice as likely to lack insurance compared to homeowners in general. Among lower income homeowners, 15% are without coverage. Certain demographics of homeowners are disproportionately at risk. 22% of Native American homeowners, 14% of Hispanic homeowners, and 11% of Black homeowners have no insurance. Rural homeowners, those living in metropolitan areas of Houston and Miami, and homeowners in Mississippi, New Mexico, and Louisiana are most likely to not have insurance. Let's jump into the next segment, DK's Dummy of the Day. Here it is, the D's Nuts origin story. How a Wisconsin man went from Derek to Des Nuts to D's Nuts. Not the candy bar or the Dr. Dre song, but the Wisconsin man whose legal first name is a favorite euphemism when making testicle and other jokes. In April 11th, shortly before his 30th birthday, Derek Lee Kroll decided it was time for a name change. So the Green Bay resident filled out by hand a 2-page petition for name change form, had the document notarized, and submitted it along with a $164.50 filing fee to the local circuit court. Along with his address and a date of birth, Kroll listed himself as a disabled and affirmed that he was not a sex offender. As for why he wanted to change his name, Kroll provided a brief description. I without a doubt hate my name. In place of Derek, Kroll wanted to legally be known as Des Nuts. Des Nuts Lee Kroll. Within 2 months of his court application, Kroll appeared before Judge Timothy Hinkfuss, who granted the petition. Kroll kept the Des Nuts handle until September 27, when he again filed a court petition. This time he asked the court to approve a name change in his first name from Des Nuts to D's Nuts, and sought to have the switch memorialized on his birth certificate. As for the right reason, again, to change his name, Kroll wrote, it was not spelled right. Y'all know what time it is. It's Bowser's Beauties Thursdays.
Stupid boy, think that I need it. I know you think about me in the shower. Porn up in your browser. Fantasize about the pussy power. Think about me with your hand on your trousers. I'm sweet, then I'm sour. I'm Big Boss Bowser.
Bowser likes them big girls. Little bit of extra rump. Segment Yoshi's Yummies. Starbucks faces lawsuit for tacking on charge for non-dairy milk and drinks. 3 lactose-intolerant women are steamed over a surcharge for non-dairy milk substitutions in Starbucks beverages. California residents Maria Bollinger, Dawn Miller, and Shunda Smith filed a lawsuit earlier this month in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California, alleging the coffee giant discriminated against customers with lactose allergies by charging them an extra fee for non-dairy alternatives to its coffee-based drinks and other beverages. The excessively high fee alleged in the suit involves a surcharge ranging from 50 cents to 80 cents on Starbucks beverages that contain non-dairy lactose-free options such as soy, almond, coconut, oat, and other plant-based milks. Lactose intolerance, which affects 30 million to 50 million Americans, qualifies as a disability under the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA. The plaintiffs claim that by charging extra for plant-based milks in their beverages, Starbucks violated their rights under the ADA in California UNRRA Civil Rights Act, a law that bars businesses from discriminating against residents of the state on the basis of age, race, sex, disability, and other criteria. I knew right away this was a California lawsuit. In California, you could probably try to sue for anything. You could sue anyone for almost anything with a chance to actually win the case. Unlike in other states, I don't see as much of these kind of, I'm not going to say this lawsuit is frivolous, but what are their actual damages that they sustained? If they went once and they were charged 80 cents and they went twice and they were charged 80 cents, okay, well, then you need to stop going there and make a different coffee house choice. But if you keep going there and then you want to claim damages, there actually has to be some type of injury in order for you to to win a lawsuit. So I'm curious to find out how this court case is going to play out and if they're actually going to recover any damages and what their actual injuries are here. That's going to wrap things up for today's edition of the Funtendo Market Report on Thursday, March 14th, 2024, Pi Day, where we don't act funny when it comes to the money.
Take that.
Hey, you very good. See you next time.